All right, so here we go. We're live. We're live on Riverside here, and we'll see what we can do with this processing on the back end. But the whole idea is I'd to give a live stream. I'm actually getting some audio in the background here. I'm very curious if we can have granola live as we're doing this as well. So the transcript is immediately available to us. It is perfect. All right, so we're recording the live. All right, perfect. We're recording the live. Loading continues in the background. We'll notify you when it's ready. Awesome. All right, we can keep this thing going. All right, so what we're doing right now, we're doing a walk NYC walk. I'm going to go down First Avenue. I'm on 41st right now. I'm going to go down First Avenue right now. We got to paint this street. Then I'm going to walk down to 29th from there. And then I'm going to cross over. I'm going to Plant Burger after that. Okay, so once we get, once we cross over here, we're going to walk down First Avenue, and then we're going to cross over to the other side to get these things painted. So here's the whole idea. We're going to start doing live streams to talk about our different ways of working. Our different ways of working, and hopefully being able to work alongside Claude and to guide Claude into doing all of our work during walk and talks. The basic systems that I'm using right now are, I'm doing this on Riverside. That's where we'll start sharing our lives. I think this will go out to YouTube. And once you go to YouTube, we can get a good summary of the conversation inside a recall about what we talked about. But I also have Workflowy as the place where we start the conversation. We can also put some of the content out on LinkedIn, but see what it's going to take to create 300 pieces of quality of content a day. That's what Gary Vee is putting out there. 300 pieces of quality content a day out there into the world for what it is that we're talking about and then what we're creating. And so if we're going to do that much and go into the content game, that means the rest of life has to be managed in a decent well. And I learned about Hamzat Chimaev yesterday. He's like, basically he has to have the rest of his world working right to be able to be that good at the work that he's doing in his fighting. So the equivalent version of that is, you got to have finance taken care of. We got to have health taken care of. We got to have family taken care of to really be able to do the work to get to our huge number of pieces of quantity every day. And we can put stuff out via podcasts. We're gonna have to get this stuff named, labeled, and then build up to a couple hundred pieces of content a day, all coming from a live stream with what we're working with. And then we start talking about what questions when we get feedback on the stuff that we're creating, we're building off of on the back end. And we got Granola also capturing some of these live streams as far as we go. So it's going to be a little bit of outcome based, but the whole idea is all the work is going to be happening during walks. And then that way we can walk more. If we walk more, we create more health. We can also do more physical exercise and we create our longevity. So we're creating a flywheel effect of improvements. Now, the contra point of view is you sit behind a computer, right, doing damage to your back. The brain's not moving as well as you'd like it to. Definitely not getting any physical exercise on the back end, right? So this is the contra to that, but we want to get as much done, if not more done, but just getting away from the computer. So that's the name of the game here. I'm going to create the enjoyment. So I was going to be going to a professional wrestling event today. Decided not to do that. Decided to work on the goals of getting 100 blocks in for the day, which I'm excited about. Walking blocks in today. We are in Tudor City. Now, do we go too far? Here, looks like we can't go. There is no access to First Avenue from here. So we got to go out one more. We got to go out to Second and then probably cross over to First below 41st Street, right? There's no other option to be able to build here. I could have finished painting the Tudor City piece, but that's okay. We'll do a cross back over because we're hungry. getting to where the food is. So if we look at basic workflow right now, we go on a walk in the morning. Starting tomorrow, that walk's going to get captured in granola. So we'll start to catch um, our top goals and our top routines that we're doing each day. So it's like walking my puppy. It's weighing myself in the morning. It's brushing my teeth. It's saying good morning to mom. So we get all those things captured. Then I do my check-in with my coach, which is all asynchronous. It's a conversation. It's a conversation that we have asynchronously to be able to start to make some of the stuff work. And then we got to make sure we're spending time with the family, right? And we're doing some of the health type activities. Stuff I'd like to do with my son. My son could go on a walk and we could do some joint listening of his books so we can learn some of the details about what he's working on. And if he's going to be doing cross country this year, he could do some listening of what we're actually creating and what we're building off of, right? And then the whole idea is how do we get a book or a piece of literature to a place where we understand it at the level of us being the author of it. And I'm thinking about the Tim Ferriss, the Disc Cafe strategy, right? Like breaking it down into the 80-20 components that we need to be able to do the right amount of work, right? And then how do we get the reading component into it where we read a book that is a little bit more meaningful of ourselves, or we can just get a book converted into get it scanned and converted into like an audio version of that book. So that's the other way that we can start to move the conversation or lead a book club on the topic of the stuff that we're creating it on. And potentially, if we have a bot that can highlight some of the key points as it's starting to read it and scan it. So I'm very curious with these book scanners, if we can just get a book scanned, and if there is a place in New York City where we could take it to get the actual PDF of the book scanned, and what's the best way to be able to get a scanned version of a book that is not currently scanned for personal use to be able to run through a particular set of routines. I'm very curious how audio is getting captured here on this live. So it's going to be mainstream of consciousness, mainstream consciousness till we get to the place that we want to actually get to. So it's normally listenable for other people, but it is going to be listenable for agents and dating agents. What I'd like to have happen is I'd like to have the agents listen to this live. This is actually getting recorded, and then things that we're talking about at the moment. Into the live, trying to remove like, hey, talk about here as far as language goes, start improving our language. Conversation. Hey, you got to work on this, or you got to think about this. Over indexing on this one item. No wind here. This one's not going to be great from a listening perspective. So how do we start to, improve the audio, and then we make improvements to these things every single day. So you can listen on Riverside, you can listen on one of the other locations. So that's the good way to get the conversation started. I could also, take a pause on this and start doing some orchestration. Like we want to have conversations, work with, have conversations with people that we're working with to start to surface. Here's what the key moves are. Let's also check in is right now. look at the Abraham Hicks response. I'm feeling great, feeling it's like a little bit like a little bit like worn down and tired for the day when we started this piece of the conversation, but now feeling much more, much more, not alive is the right word, or much more, yeah, in sync, right? And we can do these as long form podcasts, and then we can do these long form podcasts, and we could do these as short form snippets, and then we could do these as shorts, or we could do these as like uh, video snippets for the things that we're working on, right? It can all start to get formulated like in the moment, and we can see where we're hitting our goals and where we're missing our goals, and where we're making an impact on other people. And then we can have just different agents listening in to what we're doing, and then can, yeah, listening into what we're doing, and then taking the updates based on the audio. So it can be as close to a free form like brainstorm, brain dump as possible to get to like get to an end result. To an end result of work action. So I think some of the outcomes will be, I could see 2 hour lives. It's like within a year, like doing 2 hours in the morning, live audio broadcasts, complete audio. So we're not necessarily capturing the direction until we can be any place. Maybe we'll do some videos every once in a while. That could be like a Patreon version of it. We're doing some videos getting captured on, but yeah, most of the stuff is going to be over video, and then that's it. And then we have people, agents starting to listen in and pulling this apart to into the main components we want to create. So I'm not sure exactly what it's going to take. I'm not sure exactly what it takes to take this Riverside message, get a full transcript of it on the back end, where we got to upload it to, where it gets saved to. But yeah, we'll just start to read and read, and then get scores. That's what I'd like to have. I'd like to have a score on each one of the sessions for like impact, quality of information, quality of language, power, number of people who listened in, number of agents that were listening in, number of processes that got run, number of things that got kicked off. Yeah, so we just go a year from now, next summer, we're just going on walks, doing the recording. I'm fine for it, to be honest. I think that's great because it can get pushed out to all the different platforms on the back end. You start to have conversations. We could do a carbon voice chat on the back end where it's like, hey, that's how people can get a hold and to do comments live. We can have people join live into the conversation if they'd like to. So I think that'll be a fun. How do we have people? Yeah, to join. That's cool. Yeah. All right. So we had a conversation about AJ Styles' kid on the Indies, and what the updates, uh, yeah, what the updates are on that one. Let's see if I can actually get Nat into this conversation. We'll talk about it on the live. We got a question about AJ Styles, so we could do a lot of Ask Me Anything Q&A type stuff, and we could have some of the just pieces. We can give our hot take on. That's what I'd like to have. We can give our hot take. Happened with AJ Styles and Andy. So, yeah, that was great. We just actually let me get a quick note into. Let's see if this will catch up. Yeah, I caught that earlier in the week. I'm thinking, I think he's okay. I think it's a bad look if he keeps doing that stuff. The question is, how's he going to operate in the future? But I don't think he needs the help with the setup and all that stuff. So curious of your take. I'm on a walk right now. I'm always going to go to Create a Pro tonight in Long Island. It's about an hour away from my house. But the storm is like I'm going to stay away from it. But like a bunch of the old timer, like Rhino's going to be there, and Steve Carino, and the Headbangers, and Brian Myers, so a bunch of the other guys, but I'm not going to go. There's also a little person wrestling event, but that one's sold out in Brooklyn. So I decided I'm going to go to walk and do a plant burger thing, get some food there too. But yep, I heard about the AJ Styles thing. Happy Sunday. Hope everything's going well. Hope there's not too much background noise. I'm on the streets of Manhattan here. And we still caught that live. Cool. All right. Did an audio note that got caught on the AJ Styles piece. Did some wrestling commentary on the back end that we could get caught up on, and then we told a little story about what's been going on here. So that was start of the conversation. I'd like to have people start to pop into the conversation depending on what's going on. Curious if we can put a pause on the recording. Sure we can. We can stop it. Question is, can we pause it? Oh, we can go on mute, all right? So we can on mute so we're not actually talking. That's the way to be able to have conversations on the back end. And curious if somebody else is on mute, if we could have another place where we could have a conversation. We start to take it offline. So the whole idea is where you can get a catch on a conversation where people are starting to listen in, or if people can actually join into the comment, see what it actually looks like. Let me just see what happens if I'm going to grab this link on my workflow here, see how it actually, that's the join the studio link. And where's the link for the event here? Let's see. We're live streaming on social. That's for people to join the studio. I'm curious where you can get people to join the producer. Guess it's live on Media. Probably have to grab the link ahead of time for get people in here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. You'd have to grab the link ahead of time to get people into the conversation, but we got it started. We got the live started. We can do the quality of our conversations and then start working through some of the different pieces. And that literally we can get to inbox zero almost instantaneously, depending on where we are in the process. All right, so that's the beginning. We go live, yeah, potentially for 2 hours, potentially with the family in tow, potentially with Blue, potentially do this thing in the woods. We just go live for a period of time and then let the agents do the thing on the back end and start to score us based on the quality of the conversation. Do an analysis of the audio, and just get us a score until we get it to an optimized place where it actually makes a difference. And I'd have to weigh in on the authenticity, right? We don't want over optimize. We want to keep the authenticity of what we're building and creating, but we don't have to we keep the authenticity, but we just to keep improving the quality so it makes a difference for other people, and then we create more inside the space of monetization. And then that's like where the walking and talking starts to go, right? I'm very proud. I've done rucking every single day since I started doing the rucking. That works. Do want to add on a layer for some of the so yeah, want to do a layer on top of where we do a layer on top of the we'll just do a layer on top where we just do some analysis to keep this thing going. So we could do 2 hours a day at the beginning of the day and just let the world do its thing, right? And let the world do its thing, and then maybe move to other live platforms to be able to do some screen grabs and some different types of, to have a producer. Yeah, I think it would be fun to have a producer come in. I'm wondering if the producer could be AI as well, if it has to be a real person who's doing the producing, or can pull up some of the images for some of the things that we want to work on here. I'm just sure if I think I'm just doing live only. Can I do panel contact support? That is probably I think this is fine just to capture the audio this way and to be able to inspire all the work that we want to inspire just via audio. So I'm going to put it into this right now, see what this session actually looks like, see what artifacts get created on it, and see what we can actually do with the artifacts on the back end. All right. I'd like to be able to do a pause, but looks like on the lives, you can't do a pause.